What did you just say? I said you look like a fruit, he said teasingly and laughs. Come on, that doesn't even make any sense. You know what? It's already late. Do the remaining work tomorrow and wrap up your things. I'll drop you at your place. Okay, boss. He smiled, then he walked away to pack your things. Jungkook is looking at the ceiling while thinking about you. He is unaware that he is unknowingly smiling and blushing. Namjoon and his mother peeped in and saw him blushing while lost in his own thoughts. They both chuckled. Mom, did you see? My brother is so in love with someone. He whispered to his mom. I can see it, and I think that someone is none other than Van. She whispered back. Of course, Mom. Let's go inside. Namjoon nodded. They both slowly entered into the room. Jungkook gasped when he noticed their presence. He sat straight. Mom, you both here? We saw that you were smiling looking at the ceiling, so we thought to check on you if you are well or not. No, I am fine, Mom. Well, who were you thinking about? He asked teasingly. No one. Why would I think about someone? Were you thinking about Van? He asked straightly and Jungkook choked on his saliva. Mrs. Jeon worriedly patted Jungkook's back and scolded Namjoon. Hyung is so annoying. Why would I think about her? Stop lying, Jungkook. You were definitely blushing while thinking about her. Jungkook sighed. Yes, I was thinking about her because I'm confused as hell. She's always on my head. I don't know what's happening to me, why I'm feeling this way, why my mind is occupied by her thoughts. She makes me so unbelievably happy. Her smile brings me joy and her tears brings me immense pain. I just don't know what this feeling is. Namjoon walked closer to Jungkook and patted his shoulder. Come on, man, you're in love with her. Jungkook looked at Namjoon with confused eyes. Am I really in love with her? Yes, son, you do love her. But how, Mom? How can I love the girl whom I hated so much? You hated her in the beginning, but eventually she has won your heart. I cannot stand to be away from her. I think I really love her. I'm glad that you realized it. Now confess it to her too. Sure, Hyung, I will soon. Treat her well, she's a gem. She said while putting her hand on Jungkook's shoulder. He smiled and nodded. Today is weekend. You're at the grocery store to buy groceries. Suddenly, out of blue, someone called your name. Miss Vine, you here? What a coincidence. You turned around and found Yunwoo. You smiled awkwardly before saying, Yes, Mr. Chow. How are you doing? I'm good. Are you done with buying groceries? Almost done. Then would you like to have lunch with me? You hesitated a bit. Okay, you forced a smile. Why is the weekend today? What would she be doing at this time? I can't stop thinking about her. Should I call her? After fighting a lot with his thoughts, he finally decided to call you. Do you like the food? Yes, it's pretty good. Can I ask you something? Go ahead. He was just going to ask you, but till then, your phone rings up. You looked at the caller ID and then looked at Yunbu and forced a smile on your face. Yunbu smiled and gestured you to take the call first, so you pick up. Hello, Mr. John. What should I talk to her? What are you doing? Nothing. What did you call me for? Why are you stuttering? Who, me? No, no, I'm not stuttering. Okay, then tell me, why did you call me? To hear your voice, I was craving for it. You blinked nervously and cleared your throat. You turned around a little and this sounds like you're flirting with me. You said in a low voice so that Yunwu can't hear you. I have been trying to do that for a while now. Waiter, please take these plates away. He called the waiter to take the dishes away, but Jungkook frowned as he recognized Yunwu's voice. Wait, who are you with? You hesitated a bit to tell him as you were scared of how he would react. I'm with Mr. Cha. Jungkook's blood boiled. What are you doing with him? He asked in a little louder voice. We coincidentally met at the grocery store, so where are you right now? We are just done with lunch. I asked something, Van. His voice is filled with dominating one. You got nervous yet scared a bit. At the XX place, you replied in low voice. Wait for me, I'm coming there. But Mr. John, he cuts the call, you sighed. Why he always gets mad whenever I'm with Mr. Cha? You pushed the phone back and looked at Yunwoo. I'm sorry for the disturbance. It's alright. By the way, was it Jungkook on the call? Yes. You were asking something? Yes, I was. If you have a boyfriend, you nervously looked at him. No, not yet. Can I ask why? Because I want to focus on work first, as I have so many responsibilities on my back. Wow, that's so great of you. You might be talking with Yunwoo, but your mind was on Jungkook. You were unable to understand why he reacted that way. In no time, Jungkook came at the cafe. He roamed his eyes around to search you, and when finally his gaze landed on you, then he felt a tinge of jealousy running through his body. He clenched his fist, then walked towards your table. Yunwoo noticed his presence. Oh, Mr. John, you here? Jungkook forced a smile on his face. I came to take my secretary. Yunwoo frowned. What, why? Jungkook raised his voice. Do I really need to tell you the reason? I mean, of course, it's not even working hours, then why? I have some work with her. Why don't you sit back and have lunch by yourself? I'm sorry, but I have to take her with me. You confusingly looked at him. But why, Mr. John? It's a weekend today and didn't I tell you to not to talk back at me? You looked at him for a few seconds out of disappointment and then sighed internally and looked down. He shifted his gaze on Yunwoo. Enjoy your food, Mr. Cha, he said in a mocking way, then held your hand and walked outside. Once you came outside, you yanked your hand away from his grip. He frowned and turned around to look at you. What was that? I should be the one asking you this. Do you even have any idea how you just behaved with Mr. Cha? He's our important client. How can you behave so rudely with him, man? He heard you silently, then came closer to you and held your hand and starts walking. Answer me first. Where are you taking me? He ignored you and kept walking. You forcefully tried to yank away your hand from his grip, but he was holding it too tightly, and he walked to his car and made you sit inside it, and he himself sat and drove off. Where are you taking me? He ignored you and kept driving. Alright, you kept asking him where he is taking you, but he didn't reply. He stopped the car near the edge of a cliff. You opened the door and stepped out of the car. He too came out of the car. Why have you bring me here? To talk. To talk? Are you for real? Now tell me, what were you doing with Yunwoo? I was just having a simple lunch with him. Did you guys plan this date? You looked at him with disbelief. Date? Seriously, Mr. John? I already told you that I was outside for the grocery shopping and coincidentally we met, and he asked me for lunch, so I couldn't refuse him. Why? Do you perhaps like him? That you couldn't refuse him? He asked with a straight face. You gave him a disbelief look. Do not put unnecessary accusations on me. He's our important client, so I couldn't refuse. Important client, damn it. Important client doesn't mean you will do whatever he will tell you to. He raised his voice. You stared him blankly. Don't raise your voice at me. You are not my boss outside the office. You said with the same pace. I'm just asking you an explanation. I have explained you already, and if it still doesn't fit in your mind, then I don't give about it. See, I understand that you made him go incidentally, but you could have told me you're having lunch with him. You got annoyed now. Why would I tell you about it? I'm unable to understand why you are making such a big issue of it. I can go out with whoever I want. Why does it affect you so much? Yes, it does affect me. It affects me a lot. My blood boils when I see you near him. In fact, I can't bear to see you getting close with any other man. I just can't stand it. Why? You are confusing me. Stop being difficult. Probably because I love you. You stared him with unknown emotions. He took a step closer to you. What? It came out as a whisper. Yes, Van, I think I'm very in love with you. I'm sorry, I might have overreacted just now, but every time I see you with him, I just lose control over myself. I just want to punch the shit out of him so that he can never even lay his eyes on you again. It can't be true. What, Van? You and love me? It's impossible. Why do you think so? Didn't you used to claim that you hate me? I may despise you with the burning white hot intensity of 1,000 suns, but that doesn't mean I don't love you. Trust me, I really am in love with you, and I'm sorry for everything I have said to you before. If I could take it all back, I would. Your heart raced as you struggled to process his words. You had fought against him, clashed with him, and yet here he was, bearing his soul to you. I don't know what to say. You managed to whisper, your voice betraying the whirlwind of feelings inside you. Tears welled up in your eyes, surprising even yourself with the sudden appearance. He worriedly and confusingly came near you and, oh my god, why are you crying? Does me liking you disgust you that much? You lightly on his chest. No, it's because you like me back, but I spent all that time thinking you had never liked me that way. So you mean these are tears of happiness? He asked, raising his brows, and you quickly nodded. A wide smile spread on his lips, and he pulled you in his embrace. You two wrapped your arms around him. Oh my god, I love you so damn much. He lifted you up at once in his arms and began to swing you around. Jungkook put me down. You tightly grabbed onto his shoulder. Jungkook, I'll fall. I'll not let you, he said with a smile. Then he puts you down and cupped your face. From when did you fall in love with me? Probably from the day when you told me that you will take care of me and my responsibilities. He smiled before pecking your forehead. And what about you? Probably from the day we had our first. You smiled. Was it your first too? He nodded with a smile. I'm glad that you were my first. Me too, he said with a smile. You both looked at each other's eyes. His gaze landed on your lip and you understood what he wanted. He started leaning in. You closed your eyes and waited for his lips to land on yours, but you didn't know what that he stopped in the middle because of nervousness. Just me already, man. He heard you, then wasted no more time and smashed his lips onto yours. The started hesitantly as if testing the waters, but quickly deepened into something more profound and meaningful. Their breaths mingled in the cool air, and he could hear the faint sound of their heartbeats in unison. The world around them faded into insignificance as they lost themselves into the sweetness of the moment. In that fleeting instant, they both knew that everything had changed between them, and they were eager to explore their new chapter together.